Thank you. So let's start with the project introduction. So it's a European Union funded project called Morgenstadt, so City of Tomorrow in English. So it was actually initiated by the Fraunhofer, and with the help of City of Cologne, Stadt Köln, and Professor Schalle Umweltconsult and ESRI Germany, we are trying to help all other partners to cope with some 3D applications, public participation for a specific task. So we are trying to implement a smart city project with the Morgenstadt project. So what do you see here? It's the area of interest, our case study area. We try to implement some new stuff on this region. It's an old industrial zone which will be rebuilt, renewed in a couple of years. So here you see some drone flights from the area and some 3D renderings. Let me just scroll down. So again, the area in a web map, as you can see, we have a core project area where we do our 3D visualizations and other stuff. And we also have a general zone so that we can actually add some backdrops and some other base maps. So in the core project area, we are talking about 1.3 square kilometer. And in this area, there was an urban renewal project. So it's the area called Mülheim Süd, Mülheim South, and some architectural competitions, some offices, some planning offices. They just won the competition and created some sketches on top of it. Our first task to generate GIS data set. So we had the CAD data and just transformed them to GIS format, to geodatabase. And with the help of the sketches from the architects, we were able to recreate it in a real 3D environment with the help of City Engine. And finally, we could create 3D renders. You have seen some of them. Or we could create some 3D scene services. An example of it here, as you can see in my story map, so-called story map in our platform, I can embed a 3D scene, so which was actually at the beginning just CAD data, some CityGML data, so I could just transform and put it in the ArcGIS server as a 3D scene service. Of course, I can add some other views like the buildings that are going to be preserved for the future, or a new planned area with a backdrop of the planning, with the backdrop of plan, the 2D plan. And you can also see how it's going to look like in the future with the help of 3D scene services. So here you can see the all processes that we have done at the beginning, 2D, but with the help of procedural 3D modeling, we were able to create 3D data sets. So, of course, the question was, why do we do that? I mean, why do we need 3D? Why do we have to visualize them in 3D? So, the main task was to make our plans more understandable for the normal citizen. So, as you can see here, all these 2D maps, this so-called Bebauungsplan, so it's the land use plan, legally binding land use plans are a bit complicated. These plans have like special codes on top of it, just telling you how high or how dense you can build actually the area. So as a normal citizen, you have to just read it, understand it, and so on. But with the help of City Engine and all this ArcGIS backbone, we were able to create some iterations out of this area. So how it would just look like in the future. So it might look in many different ways, but with the help of procedural modeling, you can actually visualize it. So in that case, our solution was, again, kind of a portal for the citizens. So how it actually looks like, so we have the data processing from CAD, from CTGML, from any other formats, and put them in the cloud or on-premise solution, depending on your security issues or security policies. And on top of it, we are building apps, we are building views, but the data and the view of the data is central. So it's kept in our platform. And on top of it, we are adding apps, templates, some views, 2D or 3D views, so that the citizens can actually understand it. As a citizen, when I come to this portal, firstly I see this 2D map, and when I just click on that, it actually tells me where to read or how can I reach some other information, like the original PDF of the plan or the news about this plan officially published through the city of Cologne. So you can read some, legal information about it, or you can directly check the 3D scene of it. So in this case, it's a City Engine web scene, so it's also part of the ArcGIS platform. Just for the sake of the time, I'll just show it here. So it's a 3D scene. Once it's loaded, I can just, zoom around, navigate around, and fly through the bookmarks. Or I can actually compare before and after situation. So I just click the slider tool here. It will take some time. It will just load 2 different views available, and I can simply slide through before and after situation. So as you can see, before it was an industrial building, and in future it's gonna have a business center, some building with a car park, etc. So it's just showing you the different views of the area. So meanwhile, I can still fly around and just zoom out in different areas and check the city from from a person's view. So far, as a citizen, I've seen a bunch of things. I got enough information, and now at this point I can actually add my ideas on it, my comment on that. For this, we have a solution, so-called GeoForm, and it's actually kind of an editing session. So you just actually add a point into the map. But as a normal citizen, again, I don't need to know too much about GIS or editing or clicking around, etc. Instead, I have a form which actually has a geolocation. Connected with the geolocation. But I can just enter some information, like what kind of plan is this, and I just say demo test, some positive ideas, some comments, etc. I just fill it in, my name maybe, and date, of course, and I just put it on the map by clicking simply on top of it, or I can select a specific point just to add my idea. And I just say, okay, submit entry. It's succeeded. So it's sent to the cloud solution of ArcGIS. Okay, until that point, everything is fine from the citizen's view. But as a manager or as a planner who is doing all the sketches, all these plans, I need to know how successful actually my plan is. And for that purpose, we have another view on this data set, which is the operation dashboard or operation view. Here I have a summarized view about the data. As you can realize, I'm still looking at the same map, same view of the data, but I have some other information or some other dashboards added to this view, so that a manager without any GIS knowledge can easily understand what's going on in this project area and how successful it is. Like I have a summary view of the points on this data, which are the critiques, which are the comments from the field, from the citizens, and I can check some queries. I can run some queries like what happened in the last month, or some positive comments from the beginning on, or some negative comments, just looking for some specific text, etc. So, and of course, I have my basic GIS tools. I mean, I can open for example, my orthophoto, just to, to get the idea about the area, or I can filter some stuff, I can close, open some information, I can just simply measure some areas. So it's all GIS enabled, but extremely simplified to, give the general idea about this region. And it is interactive, so it just reads just real time what's happening in the area, what's happening in my data sets. So far, as a conclusion of this project, so we were trying to provide a practical solution for a combination of urban design with 3D GIS, and of course the daily business that a city actually deals. And it provides a proof of concept and all the insights, all the usability that contribute to changing urban geography by design projects. But in meanwhile, using the state-of-the-art technology, namely cloud or a bit advanced server technologies. At that part, I just want to hand over to my colleague, Mr. Schmitz. So he's going to be talking about a bit about the background of this technology. So thanks a lot.
Okay, first, thanks for staying around. I know it's a bit tough for you. Actually, I don't even know if I would have stayed so long as you do. Okay, what ESRI has shown us is a real-life project. Closer. Louder? Okay, let me move this down. So what ESRI has shown us is a real-life project, something that we do on a regular basis, and as you can imagine, we are facing very different requirements on a daily basis. Customers have their specific needs and requirements, and we need to be able to come up with solutions pretty fast. And we have focused now on urban planning. We have focused on 3D, as you have noticed, and that is one of the main development topics that we have in our platform so far, but that is by far not the only one. And just to run you through a few aspects of the platform and what you can do with this, we have very extended possibilities to do spatial analysis. We have apps, we have tons of content, we have cooperations with big data providers like, for example, here, or demographics data, and we have satellite data that we stream in from the European Space Agency and things like that. So that is something that you also can use for your applications. I can easily go on like this. Lots of possibilities. That's my point here. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to a location platform. So we work really hard on enabling you to build your own applications by providing you with the content that you need, with infrastructure components, be it cloud or on-premises, ready-to-use apps, or for you probably as a developer, then a whole set of APIs that you can use to either develop your web applications, native applications for mobile devices, for desktops, for embedded systems, and so on. Now the question might be here, looks nice, but how do I actually get to the technology? How can I get my hands on the technology and use it? This is why I want to point you to our developer portal. This is where you can actually find a lot of information about what is possible with ArcGIS and how you actually can get to it. I don't know if you know that, but we do have a free developer subscription that you actually can use. You can sign on online and just start immediately using our cloud services like geocoding or routing or simply base maps, content, geo-enrichment, things like that, and start from there. If you want to take that to a higher level, and if you want to run your app, be it commercially or just even productive, or, then you can neatly scale up. That's because you're logged in. That's okay. That's okay. So I simply want to encourage you here to have a look at our developer portal. It's developers.arcgis.com. Have a look and sign up and just start to play around with the technology. Now, I know that there are some startups here, and that is why I want to point you finally to one last resource that we have. We have launched 2.5 years ago a global program for startups because we are really interested in the innovations from startups. Actually, I could even bring it to the point that I say we do need this for our markets. It's just that startups are super innovative and have the drive to come up with completely fresh and new ideas. And that is why we have decided to come up with a startup program. And it actually comes down to this offering here. We do provide our software for free for 3 years. So you get basically the whole stack. You can do whatever you want, develop, test, or even run your application on an operational basis. In terms of training and support, we treat you as a normal customer so that you can get our support if you need that. You can access our online trainings, and we even do help you get into our market. So if you feel like you want to do co-marketing with us, if you want us to bring you to our customers, and then this is absolutely possible. What do you need to do for that? If you scroll down, there are basically 3 requirements. The foundation needs to be back not more than 3 years. By the time of entry, you shouldn't have a turnover that exceeds 1 million euros or dollars in the US. And we definitely want you to build a software application so that not only one specific customer, but a lot of our customers can benefit from that. If you feel like this is appropriate, then just reach out to either Özgür or me, and we are happy to give you more information or just bring you into the program. And that's about it. Our contact is, do you have any questions, either on the platform in general or on the project that Özgür presented? Okay. Oh yeah. The city of Cologne? Oh, sorry. Yeah. It's actually test phase, so we didn't really deploy it because you also need an approval from the politicians, etc. But there is already a testing period internally running, and it will be added hopefully in a couple of months to a parallel website from the city of Cologne called Smart Cities portal or something like that. So it will be online soon. Yeah.
So I take over the moderation because Jan had to leave. I still have a question, one more question. We are in Berlin. What about the startups from Berlin? Can they reach you easily? Do you have an office in Berlin? Is the startup support, especially in Berlin, possible?
Thanks. Excellent question. Yes, we do have an office in Berlin. It's around the corner, for me, because I'm out of Munich. It's at Alexanderplatz. If you're from Berlin, we do already have a number of startups here from Berlin in the program. It's actually, we don't care where you're actually sitting. It's a virtual incubator, if you will. It's something like this Microsoft Bismarck, in case you are familiar with that. So yes, we can support you here locally, but we also support you wherever you are. The easiest way is to reach out to me. I will point you to the resources, talk to you, understand what you want to do, and also give you some guidance, because at the end of the day, our platform is pretty powerful, which sometimes is a challenge for the startups, and then it's probably pretty easy or handy to have somebody like me at your side that gives you some guidance. So yes, just reach out to me.
So thank you.